Looky what I found under the Roswell pickup. Um, a piece of foam in the middle of the pickup with a spring inserted in the middle of it as well. And I guess you're supposed to be able to adjust the pickup side to side with that. I'm not so sure. I think I'm going to clean this up and also put some springs under these screws that go in these little holes over here, which is really hard to see, which is black because they've shield painted this cavity as well. So right in here, if you can take a look, right in there, it's all rough, left rough along there, and this is because of the pickup itself. Right there, see that? Took the paint off. It's rough against those edges. Very hard to see in the light that I have available. There, maybe that's a little bit better. Yeah, it's all rough in there on both sides, and it's really buggering up against the ends of the tabs right there on the pickup. So I'm going to have to clean that up. I'm going to take a little round dowel like this. I'm going to put some sandpaper on it and run it up and down in those corners and along there to smooth that out nice and easy. And there's a chip or like a pip of something right here that they left behind right beside the screw hole, so I'm going to take that out as well. Anything else that I find along the way. The 220 sandpaper is doing its job and smoothing off these corners. Okay. Where did that go? Oh, here it is. So in the bottom, I have this foam glued in there really hard in the middle, and there was this spring in the middle as well. I took the spring out to see if the foam would be okay by itself, or do I have to rip it out as well. Thinking I might be able to get away with leaving it there and just putting the springs under the screws. I did it on the other one. I did not take the center spring out. I think it's going to work better that way, and I'm going to remove this one of the bridge and do it again. So I'm thinking I have an idea why they did it that way, because when you're mounting these pickups inside the body with wood screws like these, getting little springs like that in each side, not fun, and probably cuts down on your work production line time. So they just throw that in the middle and go, yeah, hope for the best. So I have an array of springs that I've bought and saved, and I put two that kind of look like this on the other one, with wide side up, narrow side down underneath the tip to try to give it some stability on either ends, as well on both ends, as well as leaving this foam in the middle to let it bobble around on if it needs to. So the trick is really tricky of getting these springs in there, because I have to play with the harness that's connected to this thing to try to get it around that, not jam this in, and also not scratch the top of the guitar. So finding that hole again was the difficult part on the other side, and it was by field trial and terror trying to find that hole. I got that one. Now with not too far in, trying to get this other screw and spring together. I tell you, there's some days I wish I had 3 hands. It would really help out a lot. Alright, let's see if we're lucky enough to find a hole on this one. Oh, oh, got it. That went better than the first one. Okay, so that's just below the fretboard for now. There is no rubbing in the corners, so that went okay. So as I said, after getting this one in and going, that's a relief, I'm thinking, oh man, take it out and get that big spring from the middle of there. Because I found it was a little bit tight, pushing up too much against the pressure on these little wood screws that don't have very coarse threads. So I didn't want them tearing the threads out, which leads to another problem of plugging the holes and re-drilling them again. Alright, so let's just pop out that center spring. And now, back to trying to find those holes. See if it goes better this time. Alrighty. I am A-OK and happy with that. I'm going to pick up all this crap, put it away, clean around inside there with my wax, and then we're going to put a new set of 9s on it. That one's really, alright, yeah, they're really firm sitting on the middle. That middle foam helps to keep the pickups flattened out, which is why I was thinking I only wanted to get these terse springs. They are, you know, really tough to be right in the middle of the pickup, and overall not high enough, depending on where your bridge is set, to be able to get the right pickup height. So, alright, stand by for the next part where all this is cleaned up. So I just wanted to report that I was able to get away with a piece of this round dowel jammed in the back here to keep my block about where I need it to keep the plate up a little bit off the top and the body. What I noticed though is that over time, and as I've been working on this, it's been compressing. The springs are so strong that it's been compressing my wood, and it's letting it down almost on the body at the back end, right there. But it's still up a little bit, and once I get the strings in there, it'll start to pull on it. The other thing is that all the nuts here at the tuners were snug, and all the screws on the back were also snug. Now, one thing that happened, which was a surprise to me, scared me a little bit, when I released these locking bolts, screws, whatever you want to call them, on several of the strings. As soon as I let it go, the strings broke at the output of the tuners here and left the tiny little pieces inside. So that was something I wasn't expecting with these tuners, is that it broke up there. I'm wondering if that over time would cause strings to break, you know, while you're using the guitar. Because if you want to be able to release strings to do stuff, geez, if they break on you right there, you don't have much left if you don't have a little bit more of a wind than a half a turn on that post up there. These posts are also they're also staggered tuners. They're taller at the low E and shorter at the low E. So there's not a lot of room to put a lot of string on it. Might be able to get up to a wind. So I've got a set of 9s. I'm going to cut it open, stretch them out, start patching them through the back like a Stratocaster, and see if we can get this thing done up. I've cleaned up the front and I've waxed all of this now in between here where I couldn't get before, and we're good to go with the strings. Alright, it's on. It's good, it works. Got the pickups adjusted properly. I was hoping that the foam underneath would help to keep these things straight and level, but they still have a slight cant to them. Well, at least the bridge does. But it works fine. I'm really happy that it came out like this. I mean, it was first guitar I didn't do any fret filing, leveling, crowning. First one after I don't know how many years this is. Since I started doing this when I built my first Tele, that's probably 5-6 years ago. And you know what? The parts that I bought from GFS to build that first Tele cost me $800 in total for their parts and my parts. That's including exchange rates and shipping and everything else. It cost me $800. Actually, it was over $800. It was about $850 for the first one. And you get a guitar like this for, you know, $200. It doesn't make any sense. Just doesn't make any sense. But I'm happy it does. I'm so happy it does. I can get a whole lot more out of my money now than I could 6 years ago when it cost me $800 to end up with a nice guitar. Yep. So there she is. Very, very, very nice. It's excellent. Alright, ready to do some cleaning and we'll hit the amp. Alrighty then, we're at the amp. I've got a tapper. So remember that I put a Fralin resistor on this one, so even when I split this one, a little bit of the inside coil stays on because of the lift. The resistor gets it either from the one that's on the switch or the one that's attached to the push-pull. So in this mode we've got humbucker only, full on, which is the 2 coils full tap, and none over there. If you pull that, what you're going to end up with is a split. It's going to sound thinner because it goes to the outside coil full on and the inside coil partially on, and that's the way that's supposed to work. Now if we go to the position 2, we should get upper and upper. such a sweet sound. Upper and upper. And that would be full on this one. No sound, just a tick tick from there. Just a tick tick. Full on. Now, if I split that one, I don't think anything happens. Oh. No, I don't think anything happens when I split it there for some reason. Dead. On. Dead. On. So the split there does nothing in that position. In the middle position, then we've got both humbuckers full on. And that is the full power. If I split that in that position, then what I get is outer and outer. Tick, tick, tick. Tick, tick, tick. Full on. So the one that's outer and outer and the one that is upper and upper, they both sound pretty nice. Alright, and then if we go to position 4, what we get is inner and outer. And it sounds like and then if we go all the way up, we end up with just the bucker full. Remember, in the 4th position, this does also none, like that one does down there. No change. Actually, no. I'm sorry. In position 2, pulling this up does not change the pickup outputs. I still get upper and upper together. So, but I still get output. If I go to position 4 and I pull it up, it completely kills all the pickups. Nothing is there from either one. And then in that position, it's a full humbucker on this side. Nothing, nothing, and full. And if you pull it, you end up splitting it. Takes out the south coil, leaves the north coil on. So those are the combinations that you can get from the switches. So you can make other combinations by using the independent volume controls. By being able to, let's see, if you wanted to have, I'll have to figure out something, but you can, any place where both of them are on, like in position 2, where you've got upper and upper. For instance, if you just want this one upper, all you have to do is turn the neck volume down, go to position 2. Now you just have this coil here, the inner, the south one is the primary. If you turn up that one, you get this one. If you turn down the bridge volume, now you just get this one up here. So you get a single coil there altogether. So you can also make combinations by you choosing the volumes and changing the blend level. So you can blend up and down, you can add a little bit. So if you got a combination, you like all the bridge, but just a little bit of the neck, or vice versa, or whatever the case may be, half and half. You can do that. So overall, it becomes quite versatile by having 8 unique switch positions and blending, and also complete control of turning off a coil in a single situation. So that's the way it goes. Fusion T HH, Harley Benton. It's a beauty. And now it's even more functional. I'm very happy with that result. Very happy. It's a unique guitar. Unless somebody else has done exactly what I've done. But I like it with the look of the 3 knobs on it. I think it looks good. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'm going to catch you in the next one, hopefully. Don't forget to subscribe and be ready.